Part 1. Illusion of intimacy. He thought she smiled just for him. The way she typed, "Hey babe," it felt real, personal, like maybe she actually liked him. Maybe, out of the thousands, he was the one. So he sent $20, then 50, then another 100, just to keep the messages going, just to feel connected, just to feel wanted. But behind that screen, she wasn't typing. Some guy named Marcus was, running 10 accounts, replying on her behalf, using a flowchart of canned responses and emojis to farm the week out of their wallets.
Thanks, baby. That makes me feel so safe.
It wasn't real. It never was. This is Black Signal, a transmission they didn't want you to receive. You've entered the dead zone, where illusions die, and truth speaks without mercy. Tonight, we expose the puppeteers behind the screen, and the girls who turn their flesh into currency. This story begins inside the rotting mind of a simp. Not a man, not a provider, a digital slave, hooked on artificial attention like a junkie begging for his next fix. And here's the first brutal truth. They're not horny. They're broken. These are not men chasing sex. They're chasing something much deeper and much darker. They're chasing connection, approval, motherhood wrapped in cleavage. They're chasing the illusion of being seen, and they'll pay any price for it. This isn't new. It started early, long before OnlyFans ever existed. We raised boys on screens, taught them to chase likes, not purpose, told them love is when a girl notices you, even if you had to buy that attention. And when real women rejected them, they didn't grow stronger, they grew softer, needier, more dependent. Now, they think tipping a girl means she cares, that unlocking a private pic means he's special, that sending $500 makes him a protector, a king, a man. No, it makes him a source of passive income. While she smiles on camera, another man is editing her photos, writing the messages, running the business. She's not his dream girl. She's his digital pimp, and he doesn't even know it. Stay for part 2, the digital harems, where we take it even deeper and start dismantling the industrialized illusion these girls are selling like heroin to the heart. They think it's just her. One girl, one account, one connection. But behind the neon glow of her exclusive content lies a system. A cold mechanical pipeline designed to trap, milk, and repeat. She's not texting you at 3 a.m. because she misses you. She's farming engagement, and you're just another sheep in the field. This isn't a girl with a phone. It's a digital harem operation. Engineered by marketing agencies, managed by men, scaled like an MLM for simps. The top girls, they don't even run their own accounts. They hire chat agents, men, copywriters, sometimes AI. Some even have teams handling their content, their messages, their entire identity. You're not flirting with her. You're negotiating with a freelancer from Ukraine trained to mimic flirtation with broken men. And here's the dirty truth. They send the same nudes to thousands. The same, "I'm thinking about you" message. The same, "I can't sleep without your voice" lie. To every poor bastard willing to pay for it. You don't get her. You get the template. She records a short video, winks, bites her lip, says your name, sends it to 200 other suckers that night. Each one thinking, "She made this for me." No, maggot. She made it for her mortgage. And when they want more from you, they play the game.
You're the only one I really talk to on here. I'm thinking about leaving this life behind. But I just need help this month. Rent's tight.
They dangle the girlfriend fantasy. They act tired of the platform. They cry about the emotional cost. They pretend to be vulnerable. So you'll swoop in like a knight, tip more, offer your number, send more money. But as soon as you stop paying, you vanish, deleted, ghosted, blocked. You were never special. You were a wallet. This isn't love. This isn't connection. It's digital prostitution, and the only one being exploited is you. Not physically, mentally, financially, spiritually. You've sold your soul for access to an illusion. You ready for part 3, the financial slavery ritual? That's where we break down how these men go broke thinking they're providers, when they're really just donors in a digital blood bank. $5 for a photo, 10 to unlock a message, 20 for a custom reply that could have been typed by a chatbot in Mumbai. He tells himself it's nothing, just support, just fun. But this isn't spending, it's sacrificial bleeding, because with every dollar sent, he's trying to buy back his worth. OnlyFans doesn't sell content, it sells control, the illusion of power. It makes him feel like a provider, like a man, like someone she needs.
I don't do this for anyone else. You're the only one who gets me. I want to get off this site someday, maybe with someone like you.
She's running a script, and he's running a tab. They pay for more than photos. They pay to be heard, to be noticed, to have her say their name like it means something. And these girls, they know exactly how to price that pain. 20 for a moan, 50 for a video, 100 to talk on the phone, 200 for something special. And if he's desperate enough, she offers the Holy Grail, a chance to meet. But that meet never comes. It's always, next month, baby. Or, I got sick. Or, I lost my phone. Or worse. Block the moment he hesitated to pay. They've created a religion, a digital priestess, a transactional confession booth. He sins with his desperation, then pays to be forgiven. But what he's really buying? Silence, emptiness, the slow drain of everything that once made him a man. There are men who sell their sneakers, pawn their guitars, cancel food orders, just to tip some girl living 10 states away who doesn't even remember their username. There are men who use their unemployment check to buy foot pics, who fall into debt defending her honor in comment sections, who get in fights with real women to stay loyal to a pixelated girlfriend. That's not simping. That's financial enslavement with a smile. She doesn't respect him. She doesn't even see him. She feeds the machine, he funds it. She grows richer, he grows emptier. And the worst part? He calls it love. Next up is part 4, Death of the Masculine, where we expose how these men are spiritually castrated, emotionally neutered, and turned into submissive worms while calling themselves supporters. Masculinity doesn't vanish with war. It doesn't vanish with poverty. It vanishes with pleasure without purpose. With men who surrender their drive for a dopamine drip dressed in lingerie. The OnlyFans simp is not just weak. He is castrated, spiritually, emotionally, biologically. A man without mission, a man without edge, a man who trades his instinct to conquer. For the pathetic comfort of digital submission, they don't want to build, they don't want to fight, they don't want to lead, they want to serve. Not a nation, not a brotherhood, not a cause. They want to serve her, a girl who offers nothing but flesh and empty praise, and still, they worship. She motivates me. She's grinding like me. She's just trying to make it. No fool. She's weaponized your failure and turned it into profit. The masculine was built to dominate his environment, to forge, to protect, to command. But this is the final form of domesticated weakness. They tip like kings but live like insects. No muscle, no grit, no presence, just soft hands and soft minds. weeping into their phones while she calls them her rock. And while she sells that illusion, she's being dominated by another man, a real one, the guy who doesn't follow her, doesn't pay her, barely texts her back. That's the one she sleeps with. That's the one who doesn't have to try. Because real attraction isn't bought, it's commanded. And yet, the simps call him toxic. They call him an abuser. They call him a misogynist. Because deep down they know she doesn't want them. She wants him. There is no redemption for the modern simp until he kills that weakness inside. Until he stops mistaking lust for love. Until he stops kneeling to women who sell their body to strangers like vending machines. Until he reclaims the rage, the mission, the masculine fire he was born with. Until then, he is not a man. He is a wallet with a pulse. Coming up, Part 5, The Cult of Digital Goddesses, where we show how these girls have become modern deities, collecting followers, preaching self-love, and weaponizing sexuality into psychological warfare. If you agree with what's being said, type black signal in the comments. It helps spread this message to more people who need to hear it before they end up just like him. Like the video if you see the truth. Share it if you want the others to wake up. This isn't a video, it's a transmission. And you are the signal. Part 5, The Cult of Digital Goddesses. They don't see her as a girl anymore. They see her as a goddess, untouchable, divine, worshipped not for who she is, but for the feeling she sells. And that's the trap. Because once she's no longer a person, you can't criticize her, you can't question her, you can only obey. OnlyFans turned everyday girls into high priests of a new religion, the cult of the digital goddess. They preach self-love, empowerment, and sexual freedom, while cashing checks from men who have no love, no power, and no freedom. It's not just manipulation anymore. It's mass indoctrination. They post fake tears, scripted trauma, and choreographed vulnerability. And weak men fall for it every time. She's been through a lot. She's strong and independent. She's doing what she has to do. No, she's selling you pain as a marketing angle. Because simps don't tip for strength. They tip for wounds they think they can heal. And with every message she sends, every post, every pout, every quote about healing, she converts more followers. These girls don't need altars. They've got TikTok, they've got Instagram, they've got DMs full of men offering money, advice, therapy, and protection for a woman who wouldn't even recognize them on the street. They call it empowerment, but it's not theirs. It's funded by simps. And the worst part, they think they're helping her. I believe in her. She's different. She deserves more than this site. No, she doesn't. She chose this. She enjoys this. And she profits from the weakness of men like you. She is the priestess. You are the tithe. And the more you give, the more she ascends. Not into heaven, but into algorithmic divinity. You think you're lifting her up? You're just feeding the monster. You're fueling her illusion of power. And every time you hit like, every time you drop a tip, you lower yourself beneath her. Ready for Part 6, the era of emotional prostitution, where we rip the mask off emotional labor and expose the industrial-scale scamming of broken men through fake affection. They used to sell the body. Now they sell the feeling. This isn't sex work anymore. It's soul work. Twisted, commodified, turned into a product. And the product is you. Your attention, your desperation, your hope that maybe this girl behind the screen actually likes you. We're in the age of emotional prostitution, where nothing physical happens. But the psychological addiction is deeper than heroin. These girls don't need to show skin to get paid. They just have to act like they care. And the simps, they'll pay more for a lie that feels like love than for a nude that feels like nothing. She becomes his therapist, his girlfriend, his source of validation, and he starts to believe, this is the one person who actually listens to me. He doesn't realize she's running scripts. She's been trained on how to extract the most money with the softest lies. She sends voice notes with fake crying. She says things like, "You're different. I've never told anyone this before. You remind me of someone I used to love." It's all calculated affection. She sells the illusion of vulnerability. So he opens his heart and his wallet. This is the pimping of emotional labor, where affection is a service, where attention is currency, where validation is weaponized. She doesn't need to undress anymore. All she needs to do is make him feel like she sees him. And that is the deadliest drug of all. Because real women don't do this. They don't charge you to care. They don't price their affection. They either feel it or they don't. But these girls, they've built a marketplace of fake intimacy. And they make millions off of men who've never heard the words, "I'm proud of you," from anyone in their life. This is no longer about pleasure. This is a psychological battlefield. And these men are being bled out slowly. They don't even realize they're being sold feelings that were never real. And when it ends, when she blocks them or stops replying, they spiral. Because you weren't just paying for content, you were paying for hope. Part 7, The Forgotten Man. He gave her everything, his time, his money, his attention, his secrets, his soul. And when he had nothing left to offer, she moved on. Without a thank you, without closure, without a single memory of who he was. This is the fate of the forgotten man. No parade, no recognition, just silence and shame. She doesn't miss him. She barely remembers him. And he remembers everything. Every emoji, every message, every lie she whispered like it was real. He scrolls back through the chats at night, looking for signs, trying to figure out where it went wrong, as if he ever mattered. She never loved him. She loved the donation history. And now that he's spent, he's worthless, not just ignored. Erased. A new name replaced his in the inbox. A richer simp, a fresher victim. One who hasn't yet questioned the game. And now he walks among us. A shell. A man who once believed in digital love, now too ashamed to speak. He won't tell his friends, won't admit what he spent, won't explain why his credit card's maxed. But it shows. You see it in his posture, the hollow eyes, the way he flinches when real women laugh near him. He's been mentally neutered. And just when you think it can't get worse, the next level of delusion drags him even deeper. He finds a new girl online. Perfect skin, perfect lighting, perfect proportions, too perfect. Because she's not real, she's AI, and he knows she's AI, but he doesn't care, because now the lie is cleaner. Now he doesn't have to pretend. Now he can pay to message an illusion, without the disappointment of reality. Welcome to the synthetic fantasy, where simps don't even need real girls anymore. They just need a believable enough deep fake, an AI model trained to mimic what makes them feel loved. Soft words, fake attention, algorithmic affection. And yes, there are already AI OnlyFans accounts. Some built entirely with fake images and voice synthesis. Some with Indian men running the messages, pretending to be women. Some created purely by code, never touched by a female hand at all. And these worms, they send tips anyway. They flirt with digital ghosts. They confess feelings to software. He knows it's fake, but he chooses the lie. Because facing the truth, that he's wasted years, money, and manhood chasing nothing, would break what little remains of him. So he feeds the delusion, sends money to AI models, fantasizes about algorithms, falls in love with a file. This is not attraction. This is annihilation. The final form of the simp is not just forgotten by women. He's replaced by code. And soon, he won't even need a body. He'll be the first to volunteer to upload his mind into a server. As long as she's there, smiling, waiting, ready to say his name. For a price. Part 8. The rise of the digital brothel, where we expose the industrial scale of this system, how it's now normalized, and how platforms profit from turning human loneliness into data and gold. Part 8. The rise of the digital brothel. This isn't an accident. This isn't a trend. This is an engineered ecosystem designed to turn men into livestock and their loneliness into currency. Welcome to the digital brothel. Not a website, not an app, but an entire infrastructure of exploitation disguised as empowerment. OnlyFans is just the storefront. Behind it stands an army of platforms, agencies, managers, AI tools, and marketing firms, all with one goal: extract money from the emotionally starving. It's no longer about porn, it's about control. Control of your eyes, control of your time, control of your wallet, control of your perception of what love is even supposed to feel like. Here's how the machine works. Girls are trained to optimize attention, perfect angles, trauma-bait captions, AI-enhanced beauty. Agencies write the scripts, handle replies, boost conversions. Apps monitor engagement down to the second, testing headlines, emojis, tone. AI fills the gaps, generating custom content, deepfake videos, even synthetic voice messages. Payment platforms take a cut. Hosting sites run analytics. And the platform profits from every simp who hits tip. This is no longer sex work. This is data-driven emotional warfare. The average girl doesn't make a fortune, but the system does. Because for every millionaire of girl, there are millions of girls pulling in scraps. While the platform gets rich on transaction fees, payouts, subscriptions, refunds, and every single DM a man is dumb enough to unlock. And even if she quits, they've already made their cut. She was just a cog, a face, a product, replaceable, just like the simps. And now the model is spreading. Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, Twitch, Snapchat, all starting to mirror the system. Girls post thirst traps with links. Men click. They get funneled into paywalls. They subscribe, tip, donate, and chase. It's not just a platform anymore. It's an ideology, a belief system where a girl's value is her marketability, and a man's value is how much he's willing to pay to feel wanted. They've turned love into a business model and desire into software. A girl doesn't need to care. She just needs engagement. And if real girls don't want to do it, AI will. They're already building platforms with AI models only. No humans, no mess. Just perfect-looking avatars, programmed to never reject you, never log off, never stop selling you the fantasy. And the worst part? It works better. Men would rather pay for a lie than risk hearing a no from someone real. This is not the digital age. This is the age of synthetic intimacy, where corporations farm human emotion like oil and sell it back to you drop by drop. You don't own anything. Not the content, not the connection, not even your thoughts. Because the moment you open that app, you are inside their funnel. You are inside the brothel, and you paid to walk in. Part 9, Exit Wounds. What happens after the simp finally wakes up? The mental collapse, the regret, the self-hatred, and the aftermath of wasting his life on a fantasy that never knew his name. Eventually, he wakes up. Not all of them do, but some. After the money's gone, after the dopamine fades, after she stops replying, they look in the mirror and see the wreckage. Not just a drained bank account, not just deleted messages, but a psychological scar. A mind that's been trained to chase affection through payment. A heart that flinches at real women. A soul that's numbed itself on purpose. And now, there's nothing left to chase. No fake love. No chat replies. Just silence. And for the first time, he hears it. This isn't heartbreak. This is identity collapse. Because for months, years maybe, his routine revolved around her, checking her posts, unlocking messages, sending good mornings and tips like a digital husband. Now he's just alone. He tries to rejoin the world, but everything feels fake. Real girls feel cold. Real conversations feel flat, because he's been conditioned to expect constant attention, instant gratification, constant praise, perfect replies. The real world, it moves slower. It doesn't revolve around him, and it doesn't care how much he paid. So he recoils, retreats, watches his self-worth sink into bitterness. And what fills the void? Anger. At her, at the system, at himself, especially himself. He scrolls through his bank statements, the thousands he sent, the months he wasted, the people he ghosted just to keep chasing her fake smile. Now he can't even look at a photo of her without feeling sick. But he can't delete her either, because deep down, that little parasite still whispers, maybe she did care. Some of these men spiral. They isolate. They develop anxiety. They snap in public, lash out in forums, try to warn the others. But the damage is already done. They've become cautionary tales. Not warriors, not survivors, just ghosts of who they used to be, before they sold their attention, before they outsourced their self-worth, to a woman who was never even there. Others turn cold, ruthless, dead inside. They shut off emotion, harden their face, claim they're done with women while still fantasizing about them every night. They didn't escape the matrix. They just lost the ability to dream. And the system, it doesn't care. There's always another simp, another lonely man, another addict who hasn't hit the wall yet. The platform doesn't refund pain. It just erases your data and opens a new slot in her inbox. You aren't even a memory. You're a statistic, a conversion rate, a closed ticket. Exit wounds bleeding in silence. Part 10. No one is coming to save you. The final section. Our message to every man still teetering on the edge, reminding them no hero is coming, but war is. And they either rise or rot. You've seen the disease. You've seen what it does to a man. How it rots his drive, his spine, his sense of reality. How it turns hunger into submission and masculinity into mockery. And now comes the truth. No one wants to say out loud. No one is coming to save you. Not your friends, not your family, not your favorite influencer, and definitely not her. There will be no awakening moment delivered through a soft hand. No girl will appear and restore your faith. If you're waiting for someone to fix you, to rescue you, to show you how to be a man again, you're already lost. Because the path back from the abyss isn't guided. It's carved by you alone. You think she owes you something? She doesn't. She never did. The platform doesn't care how broken you are. It cares about your clicks, your payment history, your addiction profile. They've studied your habits better than you've studied yourself. And if you don't rise above it, you become fodder, a statistic. Another wallet emptied in silence. Another man buried in digital dust. Here's the hard reality. If you were weak enough to fall for it, you have to become strong enough to break it. No one else will do it for you. No one else can. You must claw your way out. With rage, with disgust, with the kind of primal clarity that makes you look at your old self like a corpse that needed to die. This isn't about shame. It's about resurrection. A man reborn through fire. And that fire must be lit by your own hand. Delete the profiles, cut the dopamine, starve the need to be seen, and become something that commands presence, not begs for it. Train. Hunt. Take back every dollar, every hour, every piece of your mind they harvested, and turn it into vengeance, into focus, into domination. Because the world doesn't need more passive men. It doesn't need more simps playing fake protector to girls who wouldn't spit on them if they were burning. The world needs shadows that rise, men who cannot be bought, men who remember who the fuck they are. This is not about women. This is not about OnlyFans. This is about you. You either become the kind of man who leads, or the kind they feed on. You either walk away from the brothel in ruins, or you stay and rot in velvet chains while your soul withers in a digital cage. You are not a simp. You are not a fan. You are not a nice guy hoping to be noticed. You are a weapon. So sharpen and never, ever bend again.